Take a look at the starting lineup for the visiting Athletics. Jacob Wilson, the shortstop, leads things off, followed by Tyler Soderstrom DHing, Shea Langoliers behind the plate, Jonah Heim at first, Joshua Kuroda-Grauer at third, Butler Cortez McNeil, and Henry Bolte in center field.
We'll take a look at the opener, Brian Hudson, who's had a fine time of it this year with an ERA of 2.25. This is the 6th time he'll be used as an opener. He's had 40 innings. You can look at the numbers. Almost a strikeout per inning, which is outstanding. And that's why he's going to go. I don't figure he goes 2, but you never know. This is how he's going to use his stuff. His four-seam fastball, 67% backed up by the sweeper. He's basically a two-pitch pitcher. Will throw the occasional sinker and very few cutters.
Hope we get a carryover of all the electricity that was at Rate Field last night. A capacity crowd, standing room only, as we get ready for some day baseball here on Saturday. Hudson, his first pitch, and he delivers strike one.
Wilson comes in with some pretty decent numbers. The power is gone. He was never an extreme power hitter, but he's had some injuries.
Now, this game was pushed up a couple hours because we will have the Alumni Home Run Derby coming up after the game. It feels like every day there's a big event or a big announcement here for the White Sox. Has this one in the air to right field. Braden Montgomery settles underneath, and there's the first out of the ball game.
Let's take a look at the defense and how Will lines them up this lovely afternoon for baseball. It's Randall Jr. and Braden in the outfield left to right. Then Montgomery, Acuna, Meidroth, and Vargas at first base today. Drew Romo gets a nod behind the plate. We told you about Brian Hudson. The weather's presented by Four Seasons Heating, Air Conditioning, Plumbing, and Electric. 79 degrees, humidity up there at 71%, and the wind, it is a factor. It's blowing toward the right field corner. In fact, this has been about the windiest day we've had in a bit, because it is going to affect anything hit to right and right center field.
Broken bat, and a diving play by Acuna to his feet. Oh, flashing the leather early. Luis Angel Acuna.
Luis Angel keeps getting better at shortstop as he's gotten more play. And oh, by the way, he's hitting well over 300 in his last couple of months. This is just a great play. Diving on the grass to his left. This ball looks like it's headed for center field. Acuna says nothing doing and guns him down at first. That's a big out.
Steve, he is looking more and more comfortable at shortstop when he gets the chance to play there.
I just think he pretty much answers the question that everybody was asking. What did the Sox get back for Luis Robert? They got salary relief for sure, and Acuna has proven to be a handy man to have around.
Langoliers sends this one in the air to right field. A very nice start for Brian Hudson. We are underway. White Sox. All right, let's take a look at the starting lineup. Randall Grichuk with a lefty getting the start on the mound. He will lead things off for the White Sox. They really like Munetaka Murakami settling into that two-hole, his second game back. Vargas, Montgomery, Meidroth, Braden Montgomery in right, Acuna, Perez, and Drew Romo behind the plate.
There's a look at the starting pitcher, Gage Jump, on for his 9th start, ERA of 3.77. He does have a big fastball, and he likes to keep it upstairs. So we'll have to see if the Sox can lay off it. They were very vulnerable to left-hand pitchers against the Red Sox. We'll see how they do with Jump. Take a look at how he's going to use his stuff today. Four-seam fastball he loves just about half the time, backed up by the slider and the curveball. Changeups, not many. Sweeper, fewer yet. But the one thing is, doesn't matter how hard you throw, and he can run it up there as high as 99. He's probably going to pitch around 95, 96 consistently. But when he gets it down, it's very hittable. When he gets it up, if you don't lay off, he's very tough to hit.
There is Tristan Peters. He is not in the starting lineup. But announced before the game that he will be named a first-time All-Star. What a 24 hours for Tristan Peters. Hits the cycle, which we all know is so hard to accomplish. A guy who we weren't even sure was going to make the team, and now he's an All-Star.
I think it's really gratifying for him. He was and is one of the great stories in baseball this year.
Oh, Jose LaHair, watch out.
That's one of the reasons you have to be heads up. If you're on that field anywhere, the ball has a tendency to find you. We'll watch it again. He comes away none the worse for wear.
Another one fouled away as Grichuk is making Gage work some pitches here to start this bottom of the first.
Well, you see how Jump wants to work. He wants to go progressively a little bit higher. You love to see this from your leadoff hitter. Just keep using pitches. This is pitch number 8. And although Randall is not truly a leadoff hitter, that's where Will felt he would fare better today.
This one is put in play to Wilson at short, as Grichuk will ground out.
Let's take a look at the defense, and now Mark Kotsay puts him out there with Cortez, Bolte, and Butler in the outfield left to right. Kuroda, Grauer, then Wilson and McNeil, along with Jonah Heim, who caught last night, playing first today. Shea Langoliers behind the plate, one of the better catchers in the league, and he can really hit. Gabe Morales calls strikes 7% above major league average away to left-hand hitters.
Big cut by Munetaka Murakami, his second game back since coming off the injured list. Murakami was 1 for 5 in the game last night with an RBI, struck out 4 times. However, the last strikeout was pretty questionable on an inside pitch in a blowout.
Yeah, that ball was well off the plate.
Not only did he come back yesterday, but the big news was announced that he will be the All-Star replacement for Byron Buxton, and he will be the final player to enter his name into the Home Run Derby. That will be fun to watch.
It's usually pretty exciting. Chris Murphy is loosening up.
We have seen the White Sox use a bridge reliever to get to the bulk guy in Fetty today, so let's see if that's the plan. As Murakami hits it hard, a sliding play as McNeil smothers it, and a couple of ground outs by the White Sox. All right, Steve, let's take a look at the lines to watch presented by Circa Sports. Sports betting the way it should be. We take a look at the odds for a White Sox home run hitter today. Who is your pick?
Well, I'm going to stick with Miguel Vargas. It looked like the swing was starting to come around, and at plus 340, he looks like the value pick. That and the fact that the other two swing left-handed, and we got a left-hander on the mound.
Check swing is put in play as Heim will step on the bag. Ground outs to end the
This call to the pen is brought to you by Alexis of Orland, and it is Chris Murphy, who's the second opener. On for the 21st time, ERA of 4.79. Things have gotten a whole lot better for him as he started to throw strikes.
So 4, 5, 6 in the order as Jonah Heim turns on that one into the upper deck foul. Heim has been one of the more dangerous bats in the lineup for the A's, and a lineup that has been shuffled around a bunch because of so many injuries.
And Heim a much better hitter from the right side than he is from the left.
Weak contact into left field as Acuna drifts back, showing the range, out number 1 here in this second inning. All right, let's welcome in our friend Brooke Fletcher. What's your scoop today?
Well, we're talking Rock Chalowski, but guys, I mean, there's just so much that goes into draft day. I was actually in the war room, and you just see all the people that go into making these big decisions. But when Rock Chalowski was selected first overall, it was all business. In fact, he was actually doing interviews with the network before Mike Shirley and Chris Getz could get a hold of him. They had to actually try him a few times before getting Rock, which actually is pretty common on draft day. But once they were connected, he was nothing but gracious. Just one of the many traits that Chris and this crew love about him.
Well, this is a guy that's, you know, you can call it a burden, carry the burden of the top player in college baseball, projected #1 pick, and he went out there and had another solid year. This guy had an incredible career at UCLA. You look at what he can do on the defensive side. You look at the offensive ability and the potential. We feel like there's more in there. He knows that. We know that. So to get a chance to bring him into our system, work with our guys, and just unlock, you know, the special skill set that Rock Chalowski has.
All right, the pick is in, and we were in the booth. We were watching with everybody else here at Rate Field as there was a watch party on the big scoreboard. And when Rock's name was announced, White Sox fans were really excited. Rock Chalowski himself, he broke down in tears. You could tell just how much the young man cares.
Well, he was at this ballpark, and he actually met with a number of those players. They were very impressed with him. And you're talking about a guy, and this is really important, a guy that swings a bat from the right side. We have seen this lineup, which is laden with lefties and switch hitters who might be a bit better from the left side than the right. I think that was one of the considerations, that and the fact that he's one of the best college players around. I think the Sox figured that it's going to be a fairly quick path to the major leagues. And that's one of the reasons why, swinging right-handed, an older guy, 21, they didn't pick Emerson, who's 18 years old, who probably will be a very good shortstop also, but maybe a longer path to the major leagues.
We had a really cool conversation as part of Friday Night All Access presented by Blue Moon with Mike Shirley, director of scouting, in the booth last night. I just talked about the advantages of each of the 3 potential targets they were going after. And when you get a guy like Rock Chalowski, it's just, you know, there's so much more data on him because of the seasons that he had playing in college.
He's also a finalist for the Golden Spikes, which is the best player on a yearly basis in college.
Brooke, what else you got on the #1 pick?
Well, and guys, something that a lot of people don't know is that they actually bring some of these guys up to Chicago just to get familiar with the organization. And they actually had Rock Chalowski up in the Braden Montgomery walk-off game when he made his debut. And he was actually in the clubhouse celebrating with the guys after the game. And that just gave him just a feeling of what success can look like with this White Sox organization. He was bought in. So just a little, you know, just a little nugget just to show what he means to this organization.
Brooke, I've seen him interviewed many times. He's been on a lot of different stations and a lot of different places, and he's a very intelligent young man. He comes across as a guy who's going to be a great teammate. I know he really appreciated meeting some of the Sox players, and all the speculation about who it's going to be was put to bed with that first pick.
I think that's a perfect phrasing, because think about how long of a process this was for that young man, Rock Chalowski. Mike Shirley told us last night he was the front runner early on for the White Sox, and to be the front runner means you'll be heavily scrutinized. People are going to pick you apart. Other contenders put their name in the race, and to be the front runner and to still have his name called first overall, that is a huge accomplishment.
It is, and when you look at everything that he brings to the table, he plays a great shortstop. That's #1. #2, he is a power hitter. And just as importantly, for the configuration of this team down the stretch, he won't be here this year, but when he gets here, he's going to give him another right-handed power bat to insert in the middle of this lineup.
The other reason why this draft is so important for this White Sox organization, they don't feel like they're going to be in this position for very much longer. You look at the trajectory of the way this team is playing with this young core. To get the first overall pick is a big deal because they don't want to be picking that position going forward. In the air to right field, Montgomery, he will make the catch as Cortez is retired. And the throw back in gets away. So both runners advance to second and third.
Well, for Braden, we know he has a good arm. You just don't have to show it off every play. And because the runners were not running, that's 90 feet twice that the Sox gave up. This is nowhere near anybody. And with nobody running, that is a big mistake. As you can see, Grauer is halfway. He had to get back to the bag. He would have been content to stay there, but didn't work out that way.
So with 2 outs, that now pitch puts Chris Murphy in a jam on the mound.
There is Eric Fetty. He's getting loosened up and most likely will come in right after Murphy. And I'm sure they informed Eric that there was going to be 2 guys that were used as openers.
Jeff McNeil, the veteran second baseman, steps in for his first at bat. Comes up empty on that fastball. Good pitch from Murphy. Strike 1.
He can throw pretty hard. We've seen that. And now that he's thrown the ball around the plate, he's been much more effective.
Slider just missing up out of the zone. Ball 1. A single to Joshua Grauer, and a walk to Lawrence Butler, and the throwing error allowing them to get to second and third.
There's a lot of people in this ballpark that are rooting for Murphy to retire McNeil. The guy that's rooting the most is in right field.
A late swing, 99.
We knew that he had a big fastball, and McNeil, who's been around a long time, won a batting title. That was an emergency hack. He knew it was probably very close to a strike, didn't want to leave it into Morales' hands.
Did not get him to bite on the breaking ball. 2 balls, 2 strikes the count now. Up. This could be trouble. Coming in, Grichuk lays out for the grab. Randall Grichuk saves the day and keeps this game scoreless. What a this bottom half of the second inning. This half inning is brought to you by Wintrust. Could have been a 2-0 game, but we are still scoreless thanks to that catch from Randall Grichuk.
We've seen 3 really good defensive plays in only 2 innings. Acuna had 2 of them, and Grichuk with a wonderful play. This is one of the things this team knows, and that was they can't play the kind of defense they played against the Red Sox. Granted, Red Sox pitching was overwhelming, but our Sox did not play particularly well. When they do, when they play a clean game, there's not a lot of teams that can slug with the White Sox this year.
You also love that these guys continue to pick each other up. Not a good throw by Braden Montgomery, but then Grichuk picking up his guy as Colson Montgomery will strike out to start this bottom of the second. We got our guy Connor McKnight in Philly for the draft. Let's go to him now.
All right, guys, thanks so much. Rock Chalowski goes first overall to the White Sox. The convention center here erupted in applause, as I'm sure many White Sox fans did as well. He's a shortstop, no doubt about it. A ton of talent and a lot of promise. The White Sox will continue to add through the draft today. We'll keep you posted on each one of those picks as this game goes along. John, Steve, back to you.
All right, Condor, thank you so much. All right, so we knew the White Sox were trying to decide between Cholowski, Grady Emerson, the high school shortstop, and Vaughn Lackey, the catcher out of Georgia Tech. And as we take a look at how the draft has unfolded so far, Grady Emerson going 2 to the Rays, and Vaughn Lackey, who looks like we're going to have to see a lot of, goes to Minnesota.
There's no doubt that everybody talked about those three as the premier 3 players in the draft, and no surprise they went 1, 2, 3.
Jackson Flora goes to the Giants, the first pitcher taken off the board from UC Santa Barbara.
I know the Giants desperately wanted Rock Cholowski, but that became apparent that they'd have to go to plan B with the first pick in the draft when the White Sox did pick him.
I do like that Major League Baseball is kind of picking things up in terms of the presentation for draft day, making it an event like other leagues have done, the NFL, NBA, and people are really tuned in and we're locked into this draft specifically. Slash through the hole on the right side as Chase Majdroth will pick up the first White Sox hit of the ball game.
That was a great at bat because he gets a curveball, it's out away, and you see him not even thinking about pulling this ball because this pitch is designed to be hit to the left side if you make contact. Chase went out, got it, looked through a vacated right side with McNeil playing up the middle. There was nobody home, and he gets the first hit of the game for the Sox.
Slider diving down out of the zone. Strike 1 here to Braden Montgomery. Finding his way in his rookie season here with the White Sox.
One of the things that Chase Majdroth probably should be thinking about is trying to force a throw to first base. They haven't seen the move yet. And a little bit bigger lead this time, and maybe he is trying to force that throw.
Into right field as Butler lines it up and makes the sliding grab. Out number 2 here in the second inning.
It was a nice play by Butler. He came and got that sinking line drive.
So with 2 down, Luis Angel Acuna, who is 4 for his last 8 at the plate.
Well, Chase got that move, and if he's not hiding a better move than that, he's not picking anybody off.
This one popped up behind the plate above us. We talked about that trade. Luis Robert Jr. coming back. Luis Angel Acuna from the Mets. And when he first came over, White Sox were talking about how he was pressing a little bit, trying to prove what he can do to become an everyday player. But he has now settled into a really like a super utility guy, and he has really been good since the start of June.
Well, he gives you a very nice insurance policy at 2 of the more demanding positions on the field. 1 is in center field. He will play there because of his great speed. 2 is at shortstop, where he's done a nice job. Plus, he's a late game base stealer, which turns around some games.
Acuna battling behind in the count. 1-2. Slashes this one into center, and it's going to drop in front of Bolte. So Acuna continues to stay hot at the plate.
He's been hitting them awfully hard. He gets a 4-seam fastball. Jump wanted to keep it up. He wanted to keep it away. It was in that spot, and Acuna drills it to right center.
I mean, Steve, here it is. I mean, look what he has done since the start of June.
It's been remarkable as he's gotten more playing time. He's gotten more comfortable at both shortstop and center field. But the important thing is he's stinging the baseball. Ooh. And he's stealing bags.
So a single by Maedroth, single by Acuna. And the White Sox, their first runner in scoring position today. Junior Perez gets the start in center as Tristan Peters gets a rest. And he goes down swinging on the curveball to end this second inning. Top of the third, no score between the White Sox and A's. This half inning is brought to you by Hyundai.
And Eric Fetty comes into the ball game on for the 19th time. ERA just a little above 4.3. See the strikeout rate? Not going to strike out a whole lot of guys. He's going to try to force weak contact in the strike zone. And he inherits a scoreless game.
So he enters here facing the bottom of the order, Henry Bolte, the center fielder. Bolte, .271 batting average this season with 3 home runs. Grounds it to the left side. Colson Montgomery playing third today. And he makes the play, 1 down. Well, we talked about Tristan Peters. The big news before the game, he was announced as an all-star replacement. White Sox with 3 all-stars on the roster. And, you know, I had to ask him about last night. It was just magical. Going for the cycle and doing it while mic'd up. He got that hit in his first at bat. And then we all heard him on the mic saying, all right, if I get out, I got to take this thing off. Now, I asked him about that. He said, well, the reason is, when you wear the mic, you have to wear an undershirt to protect the mic as well. And he said it was a little uncomfortable. It was a little hot. So he was looking for a reason to take it off. Well, when you keep getting hits like that, Tristan, you got to keep it on. And he said he just really enjoyed the moment, having fun with the mic, playing with his teammates. As this a hot shot back up the middle. Maedroth. And a couple of ground outs for Fetty since entering this game. Said it was also the second time that he had worn a mic while playing in a baseball game. The first time, he said, it was a little less low-key. He was playing with the Savannah Bananas. He was wearing AirPods and he had a iPhone on him while he was playing. So he said this one really upped the level, it upped the bar with the CHSN production.
I'm just wondering how many former Bananas actually made the All-Star team. I'm thinking that Tristan Peters is in a small club of 1 person.
Brooke, isn't it an incredible story? Tristan Peters from the Savannah Bananas, now an all-star.
I didn't even know if I was going to make the opening day roster, is what Tristan Peters told me when I asked him how far he's come this season. You know, he had a newborn, guys. He was fighting to keep himself in the lineup every single day. And his teammates have been just throwing his name out for a while that, hey, he should be an all-star. And he said that's what really gave him the confidence that, hey, I can really do this. He said he called his wife, Erin, just to let her know they had to change their plans to the lake over the all-star break because they're going to Philadelphia, but I think she can understand. I think she can make an exception here.
So the plan was they were going to go rent a lake house with some friends, an Airbnb about an hour away, and just take some time away from the game. Did not go around, as Emil Jimenez says, ball 2. And he calls his wife, and they're dealing with a 4.5-month-old baby, Elaine, and said, you know what? We're changing our plans. We're going to Philadelphia instead.
It's pretty exciting, and they're going to love it. It's a wonderful experience. And regardless of how you got there, whether it's players vote, whether it's coming in late due to either an injury or somebody pulls out, it doesn't really matter. Once you're there, you're an all-star. It will be mentioned the rest of your life. You will forever know that, at least in 2026, he was an all-star in the major leagues.
Gloved by Fetty as he walks it over to the bag at first. 3 ground out.
Welcome back. Still scoreless here in the bottom of the third, but I am with Sean Burke. You had an incredible start last night. Before we get to your start, we've had some pretty good defense here so far. As a pitcher, how much can you appreciate what you've seen so far?
Yeah, it's been awesome. You see Gritch is out there, the old man, still making plays out here. Then obviously Acuna's been great at shortstop all year, so it's good to see those guys making plays too.
Not the old man. Is that his nickname?
Yeah, we got shirts. I don't know if you've seen them in the locker room, the best dad ever shirts with Gritch on them. He didn't get me one. I told him yesterday I need one of those shirts.
Well, let's look back at your start from last night. Just how do you reflect on that outing?
It was good. I think just able to be in the zone a lot and get ahead of these guys early, and caught a little bit of a rhythm there in the beginning of the game. Was able to keep the pitch count down, and obviously the offense kind of explodes there late, so it's easy to pitch that lead and those later innings.
There's no doubt that you have the fastball down, but when you have confidence in that, how does that open up for just your secondary pitches?
Makes it easy. I think in a 0-0 game, you're kind of being a little bit more selective with some of the stuff you're doing, just because you don't want to give up that homer to give up the lead. But we got, what was it, 4-0 or something like that in the 5th inning. It just makes it easy to just go attack hitters, and you're not going to get killed by a solo homer.
You touched 99 a couple of times. Is 100 coming?
You said what, sorry?
You touched 99 a couple of times. Is 100 coming? Or?
It's got to be coming soon. Maybe post All-Star break, rest up a little bit and get the velo up a little extra.
All right, well, you were talking about the great offense, Tristan Peters. So you came out when he was going for the cycle, that last leg there.
Yeah.
Were you able to kind of take it all in and realize what he was doing?
No, so I was in the weight room doing my recovery stuff actually, and you can hear underneath when there's a homer, a big play, the crowd, you can kind of hear from underneath. So, but obviously it's a little bit delayed on the TV. So I heard the crowd kind of going nuts in there, and then I immediately turned and saw the TV, and the next pitch he's hitting that ball down the line. I'm like, oh, I didn't realize. I knew he had the homer and everything like that, and as he was kind of rounding the second, I was like, oh, this is for the cycle right here. So obviously he's had a great year. Obviously it's huge to see him get the All-Star nod today too. So he's been awesome, offensively, defensively, just in the clubhouse, being a good guy too. So he's been a great addition to the team.
Well, when we talked to him, he seems a little reserved, but he was on the mic last night, and he was probably the chattiest one that we've had. Is he that chatty in the clubhouse?
Yeah, he's chatty in the clubhouse. Yeah, he on the bus, on the road, everywhere. He likes to talk. I think gets around the media, is a little bit new to the media, so he's a little bit more quiet and reserved. But around us, he's a good guy. He's always joking, hanging around.
Okay, I saw some dance moves. If you could rate his dance moves 1 to 10, what would you give him?
His with Vargas in the handshake?
Yeah.
I'd give him, Vargas maybe got him a little bit. Vargas has the Latin edge on him though. They grew up doing that. Peters is Canadian. He'll work on it a little bit. I'd give him a 6 out of 10 right now.
Okay. Always room for improvement, right?
Yeah, 100%.
All right, John, thank you so much.
Thank you.
Guys, back to you.
Oh, good stuff, Brooke. Sean Burke, we appreciate you spending some time with us. You know, it's funny. So Tristan Peters actually credited Vargas. He said that dance we did before the game, it opened up my hips and really got me going, got me loose for the performance. Gritchick pounds this one past the dive of Kuroda Grauer at third. It goes off the sidewall. And Randall Gritchick, a one-out double here in the 3rd inning.
That was a rocket down the line. And Grauer had no chance. It's a low fastball. You can catch up to low fastballs. And as you can see, that hop took it into left field. So this double is brought to you by Elgin Hyundai, home of the 20-year, 200,000-mile double warranty.
Well, you can always tell when Munetaka Murakami is coming to the plate because there's a little extra buzz in the stadium. And jump starts him off with a slider out of the zone, ball 1.
Une just has to go up and look fastball. He's going to get a few this at bat. He hit the ball hard in the 1st inning, but McNeil was right in front of him at second base.
A lot of Murakami jerseys. The appeal to third. He did not go around. Emil Jimenez on the call. One of the things Murakami known for, his patience at the plate. All right, what say you?
Absolutely, you give him a 3-0 green light. And if he sees anything other than a fastball, you just don't swing.
.3-0 to Murakami. Big swing and a miss. But that's the kind of cut you want to see.
Exactly right. At 3-0, you have one thought. Hit it as far as you possibly can.
3-1. And a fastball misses, but we do have a challenge from Langoliers. ABS is powered by T-Mobile.
The call is confirmed. The Athletics have one challenge remaining.
All right, so that White Sox walk is presented by IDOT. No need to speed. It's not a game.
First time up, Vargas with an excuse me swing and just tapped it to first base. He at least has had a look at jump.
When the All-Star selections were originally announced, we thought it was just going to be Miguel Vargas. He was going to get a flight by himself. Now he's got some company.
It's exciting. Last time it happened to the Sox was, I believe, 2021. So it's been a while since it had as many as 3 All-Stars. Turned out to be a very good stop by Langoliers, because this one was a good 3 feet in front of home plate.
And we talk about the Tristan Peter story, just the arc that he had. Not sure if he was going to make the team to an All-Star. How about the storyline for Miguel Vargas? Kuroda Grauer at third, goes to second for 1. And the double play is turned to end this 3rd inning. Still no. Top of the 4th we go. This half inning is brought to you by Toyota. Second inning of work for Eric Fetty. A very good 3rd inning as he dealt with 9-1-2 in the order. And Steve, let's take a look at the last 20 hours that have gone down here in Chicago as Murakami, his first at bat, named an All-Star. And then just more good news kept coming in here for the White Sox.
Well, there's no doubt that for Jacob Gonzalez, this might open a place for him to play consistently with Mune back. Gonzalez wasn't going to get a whole lot of play. And they also picked up another draft pick in that trade. So they've got 3 in the first 41 picks. I believe Pittsburgh had the 34th pick. So Sox will get a couple of good players after Rock Chalowski.
Sox with the 1st, 34th, 41st, and the 71st pick in the draft. And
this should be an outstanding draft for the Sox.
It was not just Jacob Gonzalez, but also Brandon Eisert being traded away to Pittsburgh, and Will Venable talking about Brandon Eisert and just everything that he brought to the club starting last year, how much they relied on him in the bullpen. As Fetty with the sweeper, first strikeout of the ball game.
We saw in last night's game that Langoliers will swing at that outside breaking ball a lot. And no contact.
It's never easy for an organization to say goodbye to guys who they've definitely felt like added to this team. Vargas off the big hop. He will flip it to Fetty, out number 2. I mean, Jacob Gonzalez was the guy who really held down the fort at first with Murakami on the injured list.
I thought he did a nice job, and he drove in some key runs. But with Murakami back, you take a look at where he would fit in, and it just wasn't going to be here. This is a nice opportunity for the Sox organization to try to get a little bit better with every move. They believe that will be accomplished, and maybe Jacob will get a chance to play in Pittsburgh.
Well, the awards already coming in with 3 All-Star selections. And you got to think that general manager Chris Getz is the front runner for the executive of the year, and Will Venable front runner for manager of the year in Major League Baseball this season.
Well, they're certainly going to get a lot of consideration, but there still is a long way to go in this season. This is game number 94. There's a lot can happen between now and at the end, but both of those guys Both Chris Getz and Will Venable have done remarkable jobs.
Off the end of the bat, Fetty just gets the bag in time to record the out. Welcome back. Bottom of the fourth inning we go. Still no score between the A's and the White Sox. And let's take a look at how this last half inning ended.
Well, Miguel bobbled the ball, and the timing was not what you'd like it to be. It ends with Eric getting stepped on at first base. The object is to hit the inside of the bag right at the corner, but he wasn't afforded that luxury because it was a last-minute toss. They got the out, and hopefully Fetty's going to be okay.
How crucial is that timing from a pitcher's perspective as you're coming off the mound?
Well, you have to worry about, number one, where the bag is. Number two, you worry about the baseball. Are you going to get a good solid toss or not? And you'd like to have the ball about a step and a half ahead of time, because then you can right your footwork. If you get it any less than that, you got to stab at the bag, and in this case he stabbed at the front part of the bag but exposed his foot to the base runner. Fortunately, it looks like he's come away okay.
That is something we will keep our eye on as this game goes on. Colson Montgomery leading this off. Lays off the high heater. 2 balls, 2 strikes to count. Montgomery's 0 for 1. A strikeout his first time up in the second inning. And he goes down swinging on that heater, out number 1. This half inning is brought to you by Davis Law Firm. Well, Steve, we have seen earlier this week when they're hard throwing lefty starters, it has given this White Sox offense some problem.
Well, there's no doubt that's might be one of the reasons why Rock Chalowski was so engaging in the 1-1 spot, because he does swing the bat from the right side. And the Sox are looking for some right-handed power.
Chase Madroff swings at the first one. McNeil calling for it. And there's out number 2.
The Athletics believe that Jump is going to be around as one of their top of the rotation guys as they move into the new ballpark in 2028. So he is a building block for this rotation. And we're seeing it here this afternoon. A good location. He's got a very good arm. Tops out at 99. Pitches comfortably 96.
Well, he comes from a powerhouse college baseball program in LSU, and he was with the Tigers just 1 year after they had Grant Taylor and Paul Skeens in their rotation.
They obviously enjoy having good pitching.
It was not that long ago that Braden Montgomery heard his name announced on draft day. 12th overall pick by the Red Sox in 2024 out of Texas A&M. And he looks at that curveball, called strike 3.
Your side.
Looking like a little day baseball on Saturday here in Chicago. So you can come enjoy the game and then still have your night.
And take a look at the veteran home run derby.
Oh, that's right. Got to look at Jose Canseco before the game. He is still massive. Pounded into the ground. Backing up at first is Vargas as he gets it to Fetty. And let's check back in with Brooke.
Will Venable has been really impressed with Eric Fetty's willingness to just embrace whatever role this team has needed from him this season, especially as one of the veteran leaders on this staff. You know, he told me back in spring training when the coaches explained how they plan to use openers and asked for his feedback, Fetty's response was simple: hey, I love it. I'll make sure everyone's on board. And since then, he's been fully supportive of the group's flexibility. I mean, we talked to him last night, a part of Friday Night All Access, and Will said just having a veteran buy in like that has made a huge difference, and just his selflessness and attitude have really just helped them navigate games this season, guys.
Brooke, we saw it in that series in Cleveland. He was in the bullpen for game 3, even though he was scheduled to start the next day. And he told them, look, if you need me to go, I will pitch this game and give up my start the next day just to help this bullpen.
Well, certainly at his stage, and he's a veteran pitcher, he's here for the second time. You don't get acquired a second time by any team if you weren't a great teammate the first time. So that says a lot about the character of Eric Fetty and what he's meant to the White Sox.
In a sport where we look at individual accomplishments, we look at a pitcher's ERA, we look at a hitter's batting average, how important is it to be a good teammate?
If you have overwhelming talent, you can have any kind of chemistry in that locker room that you want. But when you don't have overwhelming talent, and the Sox do not, they're a good team, far from a great team at this point, it really helps if you're a good teammate. And I think that's one of the things that Chris Getz was concerned about when he got the big chair. He wanted to make sure that anybody acquired to come into this organization was not going to change the clubhouse chemistry, because it's really good on this team. They root for one another. All the starting pitchers go down in the bullpen to watch the starting pitcher warm up. I mean, it's really an interesting dynamic down there.
In the air to center field, Perez backtracks to make the grab, out number 2 in this 5th inning. This half inning is brought to you by St. Xavier University. Any former teammates of yours stand out where you're like, you know what, I really enjoyed playing with this guy?
Well, there was a number of them. I mean, when I came, it was very early and you're just overwhelmed. But on my first team was 4 Hall of Famers. It was Willie Mays, Willie McCovey, Juan Marichal, Gaylord Perry, as well as Bobby Bonds, who was a member of the 30-30 club 5 different times with 5 different teams.
Vargas has been active with his flips to Fetty. They got the timing down there. Let's go to the bottom of the 5th. Still no score. Bottom half of the 5th we go. This half inning is brought to you by Prevagen. Welcome back inside the booth alongside Steve Stone. I'm John Schriff. We're having a cool conversation about some of your favorite teammates. Was there a guy with your time with the White Sox?
There was. The first time I got here in 1973, the guy that was the most misunderstood player that I've ever been with was Dick Allen. Number 1, he was a terrific guy. Number 2, he was a great player. But just to be on a team with a guy who was the MVP the year before, and he was that in 1972 and led the way in 73, he was just an outstanding human being who happened to be a very good baseball player. So yeah, he was one of the guys that I remember as being fun to be around, and also really appreciated his talent.
What do you think was the most misunderstood thing about Dick Allen?
He got in a problem in Philadelphia early, and the media just pretty much tore him up. And he wasn't too trusting of the media at that point.
Acuna just rips this one over the third baseman. He's going to dig for 2 as Cortez gets it back in. So a single and now a double for Acuna here in the 5th inning.
Luis Angel is making a bid for a little more playing time. He's hit both right on the nose. This is a changeup down. And in a scoreless game, this could turn out to be one of the bigger plays. And I thought where Dick was misunderstood was that he didn't get along great with the media. And he just pretty much took his own course. But as a teammate, he was terrific.
We'll always remember that epic Sports Illustrated cover with a cigarette hanging out of his mouth, juggling baseballs. And that's just how he got ready for the game.
He also played one of the great practical jokes on me for my entire career. He was number 1.
Oh, snagged by Jump. And that'll keep Acuna at second. 1 down.
Perez hit the daylights out of this one. Unfortunately, it did not find a hole. You got to be ready to defend your position, and he was fortunate that it came on the glove side, not the pitching hand side. .109 miles an hour off the bat.
Ooh. Bottom of the order, Drew Romo. Okay, I got to hear that story.
Okay, so I just got into the White Sox, and Dick said, "You want to go to dinner?" And I said, "Great." I mean, the star of the team inviting me to dinner, little right-hand starter. So I said, "Great. Meet me in the lobby at 7 o'clock," which I did, except he wasn't there. Now, I'm waiting to go to dinner, and now it's 7:45, and I get a call from Dick, and he says, "Sorry about not going to dinner, but you just got traded." I said, "Traded? I just got here. I was traded from San Francisco. This was like the second day of spring training. I'm traded again." So he said, "But it's great." As he looks at strike three, he said, "It's great because you're going back to Cleveland." And I said, "Really?" He said, "Yeah, you got traded to Cleveland." I said, "Well, that's interesting." Called my folks, told them that I was traded to Cleveland. I said to Dick, though, "Who'd I get traded for?" He goes, "Even up for Jack Brohammer." And I said, "Even up for Jack Brohammer?" I said, "Yeah." But I said to my dad, "I'm coming back to Cleveland. I got traded there." He says, "Who'd you get traded for?" I said, "Even up for Jack Brohammer." He said, "Jack Brohammer? You got traded even up?" I said, "Yeah." Well, as it turned out, I waited another half hour because he said the general manager, Roland Heeman, was going to be in the lobby to give me all the logistics. Well, he never showed up, and the lady who had the switchboard said, "He's not coming. You're not traded. Dick just didn't want to go to dinner at this point, so go back and do something. Eat dinner by yourself." So that's exactly what I did. It was
how long he let that last.
Oh, it was the single longest practical joke, and also the most successful practical joke that I had been around, and I was in pro ball 14 years at that point. So yeah, he was an interesting character.
And you believe that he would be the one to break a news like that to you?
Sure.
You need those characters, right? And that's what makes a team fun. You got Mike Vassell on this team, right? I'm sure he's played some practical jokes on some guys. Keeps things loose with his wand. He had the sombrero and the magician's hat on last night, the wizard hat, excuse me.
Grichuk hit it very hard last time up, doubling in the third inning. This is a golden opportunity to get the lead.
One, two. Grichuk goes down swinging on the heater.
.com. Marquette Bank, love where you bank.
All right, here's a good lesson, kids. If you put in the work and you make a cool sign, chances are you will get on TV. Colson Montgomery, a nice pick at third. One pitch, one out as we start this sixth inning.
That one sticks in the glove. A good pick, and then it's easy after that. Not an easy play, but you can see how far out he went to try to smother the short hop. If you back up at all, that long hop is probably going to eat you up. Nice play by Colson.
He just has that mentality where he's always trying to attack stuff, right? It comes from his basketball days.
You should do that because you should be able to choose your own hop. It's called playing the ball instead of having the ball play you.
So Eric Fetty came into this game as the third pitcher in the third inning. What have you thought about the stuff so far today?
Pretty good. He's thrown a lot of ground balls, which at this point of his career, that's really his game.
It was Brian Hudson who started things off. A 1-2-3 first inning. Then Chris Murphy came on, gave up a hit and a single, and worked around an error. As this ball is driven down the line, let's see where it lands in foul territory.
I think one of the reasons why Will used Hudson for only one inning is he has designs maybe being able to use him tomorrow. If you let him go 2, odds are overwhelming he wouldn't be able to go tomorrow, and he's been so effective at the back end of the bullpen that I can understand using him as an opener, and because he threw so very few pitches, you would think he would be available.
Another ground ball. Colson Montgomery charging, bare hands, throws, safe at first. That was always going to be a tough play.
It's a good effort by Colson. He only had the one play. Catch it and throw it. He can't get it there in time.
So that turns into just the second hit of the ball game for the A's. Fetty takes a peek at Wilson at first.
Wilson is not a prolific base stealer. He is 2 for 2 in stolen bases, but he doesn't run all that often.
One missing down, 2-0. This half inning is brought to you by Elgin Hyundai. Really feels like the A's could use this all-star break as much as anybody. The hits just keep coming to their injured list. Zach Geloff, he was placed on the IL Friday with a knee laceration. That was something he suffered late in the game, sliding before coming to this series. Nick Kurtz with a right thumb sprain joined him on the injured list today. As Fetty will issue a walk here. Runners on at first and second now. The A's have certainly been reeling. Since June 20th, they have the worst record in Major League Baseball. They've gone 3-15 in their last 18 games. And that's a stretch because before that, they were 500. They were 38-38, and then all of these injuries hit, and now they're just trying to piece it together.
What usually happens if you are a low revenue team and the A's fall into that category, you can still field a very good team. You just don't have a whole lot of depth. So those guys that are coming off the bench for you and guys that are coming up from the minor leagues, more times than not, there's a fairly substantial drop off. If you can spend some money on some of your bench players, you're not going to find that much of a drop off.
It's maybe been one of the surprising parts of the season for the White Sox. With injuries, you get so many call-ups and haven't skipped a beat.
I mean, look, you get 12 major league debuts to this point, which is really remarkable, but it shows just how deep this organization was and is, as there are a few more coming.
Nasty sweeper, strike 2.
That's the one pitch Langoliers has had big problems with. This one happened to be a strike. More times than not, he will expand his zone low and away.
Langoliers is 0 for 2. Went down swinging back in the 4th inning. Dots the corner, gets him again.
We've seen so many sweepers that he just got mesmerized by that fastball. Few sweepers and this one.
This is our Postman Law delivery of the game. Others promise. Postman delivers. So both strikeouts today for Fetty coming against Shea Langoliers. And a sweeper starts the at bat. Strike 1 to Jonah Heim.
He turns around to hit left-handed, where he's not quite as effective as he is as a right-hand hitter.
Fetty trying to keep the A's off the board with 2 outs in this 6th inning. Seen a little extra juice on that sinker at 95 today.
He's also getting pretty good movement, which is why a lot of these A's are pounding the ball into the ground.
Fetty has recorded 11 outs. 8 of them have been on the ground so far. Another look at the runner at second. Fetty to the plate. And a sinker fouled away.
I love the fact that he looked back 3 times. That way, base runner really can't time him at all.
Two-two. Got him with the high cutter. Back-to-back strikeouts. Got a little sunscreen, get the hat on, and cozy up in your dad's lap.
Turned out to be a lovely day. The wind freshening up a bit. That's what has kept it cooled off somewhat.
Murakami lifts this one high in the air to center field. Bolte, he comes in. And 1 out as we start this home half of the 6th inning. Is this your type of game? Pitchers in control. We're seeing both teams flash the leather.
I think that it's been an exquisite defensive game as far as the Sox are concerned. They're facing another tough left-hander. They faced a few recently, and that puts a strain on this lineup. I just think that Miguel is going to have a very good at bat this at bat. He's seen him twice. He's hit the ball into the ground 2 different times. If you are thinking of getting it out in left and left center, you better hit it hard because the wind is going to knock it down.
Oh my, look what he found. Gage jump, happy birthday.
Well, it was a good at bat. Unfortunately, there was a man there. Time now for the good hands replay presented by Allstate. That probably is going up the middle for a base hit. That's the second one-hop rocket that he's had to contend with. You look, yep, it's stuck. And you get him out.
Out of 100 attempts, how many times do you think you can make a play like that?
Oh, you're going to get hit off the wrist. It's going to go by you. It's, you know, but that happened to stick in the glove.
It was a nice play.
Yep. Bullpen up and going. Luis Medina. I think after this inning they should take jump out. You know, you want to protect your young pitchers. You want to make sure that they can't put up another scoreless inning in the 7th.
It really has been a string of lefties that this White Sox team has seen. Unable to do much against them. 3 in that series against the Red Sox. As the pitch count's starting to get up there, this will be the 80th pitch of the game for Gage Jump. It's been quite a bounce back for Jump as well. He has lost each of his last 2 starts, allowing 10 earned runs and 4 home runs, but a different story here.
It's a good plan on a day like today.
Unbutton a few buttons, let the cool breeze come on in. (3-2). And Colson Montgomery, first time on base today as he works a 2-out walk. It's time now for a message from Ankin Law.
Cool under pressure.
Competitive, yet relaxed.
High intensity, nice.
Leader in the infield.
Leader in the courtroom. Have you been injured? Call Howard. 312-6-million.
Injury law made personal. That's Ankin Law.
Chase has got 1 of the 4 hits.
Low side slider is called, strike 1. White Sox have had multiple runners in scoring position, have not been able to capitalize today. Had runners in scoring position the 2nd, 3rd, and the 5th inning. This one is turned on into left field. Colson Montgomery, he is off to the races. Justin Jersley says, let's send him home. No throw to the plate, and the White Sox strike first. An RBI double from Chase Mydroff, making it 1-0 here in the 6th.
Fortunately, Cortez did not make a good relay throw, and it took a gamble from Jersley to be able to get it done. He turns on a high fastball, drives it into the corner. Colson Montgomery off to the races, but the key is that relay throw. We'll watch it again. No chance at all. Marcotte is out there. That's going to be it for Jump. He will depart this game on the tail end of a 1-0 score with a runner in scoring position.
Just getting this lineup going with that RBI double, but we're not surprised though, because he's actually hitting .326, facing the starting pitcher, 3rd time through the order. It's actually 2nd in the American League, guys. We talk about how good his discipline is at the plate, but also the adjustments and the numbers back it up.
He's got 2 runs batted in his last 2 games. As he gets the White Sox on the board, and we will have a pitching change here for the Athletics.
We're having a conference with the umpires right now. Gabe Morales is out there. I don't know exactly what this is all about quite yet, but he's talking to Doug Eddings, who's the first base umpire.
I think it's something with the mound. I don't think the new pitcher likes the landing spot. I like those kicks, though. How about Jordan 1s turned into spikes? Ooh.
Well, you can tell the man he's following up is a left-hander. And for Medina, he just didn't like what the landing was all about when he took some warm-ups.
Last night was so much fun. Tristan Peters goes for the cycle with the mic on. Let's take a listen and reflect with some of the best of with Tristan Peters.
All right. I'm mic'd up, by the way, guys. I was thinking about just being silent, completely silent. Let's go! If I get out once, I'm done being mic'd up. I take it off. If I keep getting hits, I'll keep it on. Yeah, that's a gapper. That's 2. Let's go. Let's go.
Every game.
Let's go. I said in the mic, I was like, once I get out, I'm taking it off, and I got to keep it on, I guess.
He's got to figure out if he took it home with him last night.
What a night to be mic'd up on a night where you have the 7th cycle ever in White Sox history. So apparently the landing area is to the liking of Medina. Luis Medina on for the 31st time. His ERA a pretty good 3.70. He inherits Meidroth at second base and a 1-0 deficit.
Switch hitting. Braden Montgomery will bat from the left side now. Oh, and that one hit him.
Sweeping breaking ball got him right off the foot.
Acuna with a single and a double so far today.
Felt like he got his pitch was a high fastball. He fouled it straight back.
He has not been getting cheated with his cuts.
Nope.
Meidroth at second. Montgomery hit by a pitch on at first. And a slider bends in, called strike 3. But the Sox get on the board.
Chicago Sports Network, full stream ahead.
There's so many good sporting events coming up later this afternoon. World Cup soccer, Norway, England, and then Argentina, Switzerland. And I know you're going to be locked in on UFC. Conor McGregor comes back tonight to take on Max Holloway in the main event.
I will be watching that, certainly.
Right now it's Eric Fetty with a 1-run lead as we start this 7th inning.
Pen is up and going.
This one is hit into left field. And Joshua Kuroda-Grauer will race to second. And a stand-up double to start this inning.
It's a breaking ball that didn't do much. And that is going to be it for Eric Fetty. This one into the corner. Sean Newcomb is going to come into this game. Eric Fetty did a nice job. He will exit with a 1-0 lead. The fans give him a nice round of applause as
find it at Wind Creek Chicago Southland, where the action never stops. Play the hottest table games, enjoy the newest slots, and celebrate big jackpots. At Wind Creek, there's a win waiting for you around every corner. Lawrence Butler showing bunt, pulls it back with a new pitcher on the mound.
On for the 35th time, Sean Newcomb, 2.58 ERA. He's been very good out of the pen.
Shows bunt again. When you see a guy square first 2 times around on the mound, are you trying to put the next pitch in a certain place?
Yeah, I'm looking for a high fastball. Try to force him to pop it up.
Let's see what Newcomb decides to do here. 1 ball, 1 strike. He has been so good out of the bullpen for the White Sox this season.
Colby Thomas in the on-deck circle. He'll come on to pinch hit.
And another fastball misses. It's now 3-1. Butler has 2 career sac bunts, but both coming last year. And the breaking ball missing, ball 4. Well, Major League Baseball is taking over Philly with the game's biggest events. The action begins with the T-Mobile Home Run Derby. It'll be on Netflix July 13th at 7 p.m. Then catch the 96th MLB All-Star Game presented by MasterCard July 14th at 7 p.m. on Fox. Miguel Vargas will be there. Munetaka Murakami and now Tristan Peters. 3 All-Star representatives for the White Sox.
Romo going out to talk with Sean Newcomb, who's had a hard time with a moving plate.
A's will use a pinch hitter in Colby Thomas.
I doubt if he's up there to bunt. There was no sign of it on the first pitch.
Thomas with that extreme open stance. And a challenge from Drew Romo.
The catcher is challenging the ball call.
ABS is powered by T-Mobile.
The call is confirmed. Chicago has 1 remaining.
Newcomb still trying to find a pitch that he can land for a strike.
Nobody out in the inning as the A's are threatening for one of the few times this afternoon. Certainly use a ground ball here.
Two on with nobody out in the 7th inning. As Newcomb battling back, the count is now full. Three-two. Popped up. Infield fly is called. And there's out number 1.
Coming back from 3-0, that was some pretty good pitching. So McNeil is going to be taken down.
So Williams will be the pinch hitter now for Jeff McNeil. It was an offensive explosion last night for the White Sox, winning the opener this series 14-1. But this one has been tight, with the White Sox scoring their lone run in the 6th inning. Yes, he did. There's strike 2.
Tried to check it up, but he went way out in front of the plate.
Newcomb still looking for command of that breaking ball. As bottom of the order, Bolte waiting on deck.
And Fenn mighty happy.
Another one popped up. Coming in right field is Montgomery. Makes the catch. His throw to second. Got him! Double play.
I think they're going to take another look at it. We'll see what Marcotte wants.
Just hold on.
I thought he was back in just ahead of the baseball, but we'll see when they check in New York. The call on the field is he's out.
The Athletics are challenging the out call at second base.
All right, so this is a Northwestern Medicine Manager's Challenge. We're taking a second look at the play. It's always a good idea to get a second opinion. Get yours at Northwestern Medicine.
It is awfully close. That angle you really can't tell.
Wow. Wow.
Best way to end this is not conclusive proof, because the call then would stand, and you see Mike Malinsky saying it was a double play.
After review, the call is overturned. The runner's safe. Athletics retain this challenge.
So that base runner, who is Fetty's responsibility, Kuroda Grauer, stays at second as the call is overturned.
Good play by Montgomery. He almost got him.
So 2 outs now. And there's the breaking ball we've seen from Newcomb.
He's had a good one most of this year. Today it's been somewhat of a mystery, but that was the best he's thrown.
Doubles it up. It lands at the bottom of the zone. Strike 2.
They're playing
22,742. Starting to get into it.
They're playing Bolte as a pull hitter on the left side.
Got him upstairs. Sean Newcomb holds on to this 1-0 lead.
What a job by Newcomb. He was on the ropes, and then he found his command and left the runner.
Well, that pop from the crowd, that's because Tristan Peters has been announced as the pinch hitter to start this home half of the 7th inning. Swings at the first one. It is Bolte in center field as Peters is retired.
The memorable moment is presented by Prevagen, and it's the night of Tristan Peters, and what a night it was. Took it out of the ballpark, extended that lead, and needing a triple in his last at bat, he was able to run it into a triple.
Well, making history, Tristan Peters last night Just the 7th player in White Sox history to have that accomplishment. A single, double, triple, and a home run in a game.
And there's the ever-present Jack Brohammer in 1977.
Really is amazing. You think about the history he made. 7th in White Sox team history. 5th player in Major League Baseball history to do it from the 9-hole. And just the 2nd Canadian to ever pull that off. Truomo goes down swinging, and there's 2 quick outs.
Hogan Harris loosening in the pen. That would most likely be for Mooney, who's in the on-deck circle.
Ooh. Little slider up and into Grichuk.
Just lost the grip, and that one wasn't too difficult to get out of the way.
On the corner, and strike 2 to Grichuk. Grichuk high in the air to left field. It is Thomas, the new left fielder. And he will make the catch to end this 7th inning. It's a tight one in game 2 of this series. Just a 1-0.
Today we pay tribute to Lieutenant A.J. Pablo of the United States Navy.
Always a proud moment as we salute today's GovX hero of the game. Top of the order for the Athletics. White Sox needing 6 more outs to win this series. As Jacob Wilson pokes this one fair ball into right field. And Braden Montgomery's having trouble getting it out. So Wilson, he's going to go for 3. The relay to the bag. Not in time. Jacob Wilson, a leadoff triple here in the 8th.
This one not played particularly well by Montgomery in right field. Will is taking another look at it to see if he wants to go to New York. Nope, play on. You can't let that ball ping around all that long. They almost got him, but not quite. Now he realizes the ball is not coming back in the infield anytime soon and beats the play at 3rd. There's a tying run, forcing the infield in.
Soderstrom is 0 for 2. Only time he's been on base, the walk in the 6th inning. Grounder, Acuna. What a pick as he looks back, the runner at 3rd, out number 1. My goodness, he came to play today.
Luis Angel has had a spectacular day defensively. This is just a wonderful play. It's a rocket. He takes a look at 3rd, makes sure he freezes Wilson, and then gets it across. Big effort. He's made 3 Gold Glove plays at shortstop. And that's going to be it for Sean Newcomb. He's going to leave. Tells the water park capital of the world. And there's been some great plays by Angel Acuna. But maybe the best was the last one. Up the middle. Gets the out at 1st. And now Grant Taylor comes on. Infield in at all 4 positions. On for the 36th time, ERA 2.89.
One ball, one strike here to Shea Langoliers. Ooh, good slider from Taylor. Strike two.
Slider or curveball, and trust that Romo's going to be able to stop anything in the dirt.
You go another breaking ball here.
Absolutely. You're in a situation where you want to discourage contact.
One, two from Taylor.
Fedde got Langoliers looking after setting him up with a steady diet of sweepers. Left him standing there with a fastball. That was in the 6th inning.
Fastball frozen. Strike three.
Exactly as Eric Fedde done. Langoliers once again looking for anything but a heater in a perfect spot.
Grant Taylor has been so much more in control in his 2nd season here with the White Sox. And Acuna collects himself, makes the throw as the Sox strand that runner at 3rd and keep a 1-0 lead.
It's on to Toronto and Texas before returning home against the Astros. Hogan Harris on for the 45th time, his ERA of 3.5. He's been used quite a bit and done a pretty good job of it. He inherits a 1-run deficit as the Sox look for a little insurance late.
Well, Steve, the pick is in. Number 34. And the next generation of the Tomies coming to the White Sox.
I'm sure that makes a lot of people very happy, and none happier than Jim Thome.
As Murakami goes down swinging to start this bottom half of the 8th inning. That 34th pick was the pick they just traded for from the Pirates to land the son of Jim Thome. What a draft it has been already for the White Sox, and we're just getting started.
We got the 41st pick also, so they're going to make another pick here pretty quick.
White Sox have 41 and 71 still to come. Landon Thome, another shortstop. So Rock Chalowski with the first pick, a shortstop from UCLA, and Landon Thome, a shortstop from high school. Liner into center, but it'll be caught by Bolte. And let's go to Connor, who is in Philly with this latest pick.
All right, guys, live from the draft, and the 34th pick is in for the White Sox. It's Landon Thome, son of Jim, a well-known player in the area. He is the teammate of Jaden Fauske at Nazareth, one of the guys that figured could go right around 34, goes right at 34. The White Sox believe in strength up the middle, and now with Landon Thome in tow to go along with Rock Chalowski, that strength on the infield up the middle is reinforced. We'll see what's up next for the Sox at 41. John, Steve, back to you.
Exciting day.
What a day. I mean, we had Chris Getz here earlier in the season, and he talked about when you look at players you want to start with up the middle, and the first 2 picks are shortstops.
Well, I think everybody in that draft room feels the same way. You can take a shortstop and move him wherever you want to, because to play that position initially, you've got to be a great athlete. And there it is. Only the 34th pick was a little bigger than that young man.
Landon Thomas, 6 feet, 177 pounds. As Colson Montgomery swings through that one to end the 8th inning. It is time for our GE Aerospace defensive spotlight. We take a look at Tristan Peters, 4th in Major League Baseball with 9 outs above average, and that just ranks how many outs you can save above an average replacement fielder at your position.
We see him just about every day, and he's been wonderful.
And Grant Taylor stays in this game to start the 9th inning. Strike 1.
Nobody up in the pen, so it's Grant against the world.
On the ground, it is Acuna at short. What a game he has had. 1 down.
That was the most routine of all the plays we've seen today, and we've seen a lot of real good ones.
All right, make sure to tune in to Picks to Click in the post-game show with Chuck and Ozzy, presented by the Bob Lacurcio Auto Group. You're going to like buying a car this way. Well, the tarps are coming off late, as the fans understand the White Sox need a little juice to hold on to this 1-0 lead.
The catcher is challenging the ball call.
To me, it looked like it was out of the zone, but there's no way you want to leave it in the bag, so it is out of the zone.
Chicago has no challenges remaining.
Fastball up and away. Ball 2 to Lawrence Butler.
Butler not the man you want to walk because he can steal a bag. He's 6 out of 9 in that department. Grant has fallen behind 3-0.
That section in the upper deck down the left field line is growing. And that one missed. Ball 4.
It's the 3rd time that Butler's walked today. We'll take another look. It is just out of the zone.
No challenges remaining for the White Sox, as the tying run is on at first. Good slider, gets the swing and miss from Colby Thomas. Strike 1.
Thomas came on to pinch hit in the 7th. He popped it up with 2 on and nobody out. His best hook of the day. That one just disappeared. It's there and then it's not.
Thomas almost swinging out of his shoes on that one. 1 ball, 2 strikes. Strike 3 called, but we do have a challenge. Looked a little down. ABS is powered by T-Mobile.
That's one of the reasons why you want to have one in your pocket as you head into the late innings.
So that turns into ball 2. And the White Sox are now 1 out away from wrapping up this series.
Big fastball out of the zone. And fortunately, Thomas expanded that zone.
And it's time to rise to your feet. 22,742 in the house. And feel free to get up at home. Join in on the fun. Oh, 1-1 the count here to Williams. And Grant Taylor needing one more strike here today. Maybe there is something to these red shirts.
Well, I got one queued up and ready to go for tomorrow.
Bring it home, Grant. Bring it home.
Nice stop by Romo. That ball gets away, and it's a tying run in scoring position. It's an overhand hook and a really good stop. That was a hard ball to control.
The crowd resets. 1-2 pitch. Right at Acuna, and that's ball game.
It's just fitting that the man who played the best defense of the day gets the last out, nestled in his glove.
After the offensive explosion last night, the White Sox pick up their 19th one-run win of the season. Tied for the most in Major League Baseball with the Phillies, and they take this series against the Athletics.
One more tomorrow, then the All-Star break. Get your rest. I will see you then.
One more to go. As we take a look at the standings in the AL Central, with the win, the White Sox now a half-game lead over the Guardians. For Brooke Fletcher, my guy Steve Stone, Connor McKnight in Philly, I'm John Schriffen. Coming up after the break, stay tuned. We got White Sox post-game live presented by Yingling.